Hey, welcome back. So, basically, in today's video, we are going to talk about cloud computing and some, terminologies such as green computing, utility computing, cluster computing, and many others. So, first of all, when we say cloud computing, what is cloud computing? Cloud computing is providing resources as service through the internet to a user. You get it? Now, a service is intangible goods. So, for instance, your phone, for instance, you want to save data. You have too much like things on your phone. Your phone is getting full. Your storage is getting full. You don't know what to do. All you have to do is just go to the cloud, and then someone's hard drive that the person has bought in a server somewhere. Then you upload your things to the person's hard drive, and then because the person is providing his or her hard drive to you through the internet, that's uh, that act is known as cloud computing. Like that, what the person is doing is known as cloud computing because you are trying to save your things on the person's hard drive, which is located somewhere far from you, and you have no idea where it is. You are storing your things on it. So it is cloud because the person is giving you his hard drive as a service. He's rendering a service to you through the internet. So that's basically what cloud computing is, using someone's resources as a service through the internet. And secondly, let's talk about green computing. Green computing, this term when, on this planet, you see, when people say go green, it means do things that will help the planet to survive and last long and things. You get it? So, green computing is, as defined by Wikipedia, green computing is a business practice in which companies use computers and other electronic resources in an environmentally responsible and eco-friendly manner. And the last thing, which is cluster computing. The word cluster itself, it means the same things coming together to perform one function. So a cluster of computers will give you like a cluster of computers will be referred to as a network. In this case, each computer on the network will be referred to as a node. So what is cluster computing? Cluster computing is you trying to push your processing. You want to do something, you have your computer, you want to process something, but your computer's processing unit is very very, like, your processing speed is very low, so you cannot do it with your computer. Some companies are into cluster computing, so they'll provide you with their computers, which is a lot of computer, but like this task is distributed evenly on the network, and then it's processed so that it can also happen fast and to avoid traffic and other things. So you push your data or information you want to process to them through the internet, and they process it and send it back to you through the internet. So they are, in this case, they are using their cluster of computers, which is their resource. They are good computers with high processing speed. They are using it to help you. They are offering it as a service to you. That is why it's known as what cluster computing is a something under cloud computing. And the next point is providers of cloud computing. There are a lot of providers of cloud computing. We have the uh, Azure, it's Azure. I don't know if I got the pronunciation right. We have the Azure, we have Alibaba, we have Google Cloud, we have Amazon Web Services. All these companies provide they provide cloud. They are providers of cloud computing. Uh, Azure, like this, you see, when your computer, when you open your computer, you find Microsoft Office 365. Yes, so like it's Microsoft. It is using the cloud on Azure, and then you already know, most Android users know, I've heard of Google Cloud and other things, and Amazon Web Services. Netflix uses Amazon Web Services, and then Alibaba, actually. You know Alibaba. If you buy on the internet, you obviously know Alibaba. It's an online platform where you get to buy, you get to sell and buy. It provides the platform for people who are selling to come and sell, and so that so you don't have to go and create your full web app so that you can be able to. sell online. No, you just go to Alibaba, then you create an account and everything, then you start selling, and people can buy from you. And the next thing I would like to talk about is the difference between cloud computing and traditional data center. You see, with a traditional data center, if you want to save something, you have your external hard drive, or you have your hard drive, or you have a pen drive. You save what you want, you put what you want to save, you put it on the drive, where be it your external hard drive, your pen drive, or your wherever you want to save it. And with that one, you see, if anything happens to the external hard drive, you have to fix it. You have to maintain the drive. You have to take off the drive. You have to make sure the temperature in which the drive is located is good. You see, and like I said earlier, if anything happens, you have to fix it. But with cloud computing, bear in mind when you push your information there, provided you remember your logins, anytime you go, it will be available for you. Anytime. You don't have to think about maintenance. You don't have to think about the temperature of uh, where you've stored your data is, or you don't have to even think about, hey, is this thing going to fall down? Because nothing is going to happen. As said earlier, the green computing, they apply all these things to places where they provide this type of resources to you through the internet. Another difference between the traditional data center and the cloud computing is that with a traditional data center, it's easy. That one is expensive. It's expensive because if you want to save your big information, or like your big data, you want to store it on somewhere. It means you have to buy a hard disk which is like very big, like 2 terabytes or something, so that it can be able to like contain your data. And these things do cost. These technologies, like, they do cost. And even if you're able to get them, you say that, oh, it's better than me saving it somewhere I don't know, blah blah blah. If you have to maintain it. If something happens, you have to fix it and things. But with the cloud, you see, you only pay for the service you are using. Like, what you are using is what they charge you for. So if you are not using a particular service, you'll not be charged for it. And then these charges are so, like, they are low, they are okay. You don't have to worry. You just put your things there, then you pay like $2 a month, or it depends. It depends on the type of service. This is way better. So cloud computing is cheaper compared to the traditional data center. Cloud computing is safer compared to the traditional data. And cloud computing, it's easier for you to like retrieve your information despite your location. Because if you save it on a hard drive, wherever you go, you have to you have to, if you want it, if you want the information saved on your data wherever you go, it means you have to carry the hard drive around. And then I cannot do that job. What if it drops? So with cloud computing, wherever you are, wherever around the world, provided you have internet access, you can be able to like retrieve your items. And then the last thing, it says the rapid growth in processing capabilities of today's smart mobile devices has brought about mobile devices which could have up to 8 processing cores, at least 128 gigabytes of storage, and 8 gigs of RAM. However, it is still ideal to offload computation on these mobile devices to the cloud. Describe two circumstances under which it might be beneficial to offload these powerful smart devices to the cloud. Pardon me. I think what it's trying to say is two circumstances under which is better. Two circumstances under which is beneficial for you to store your information or do your processing on cloud instead of on your smartphones, because most smartphones that comes these days, like the specs is mad. It will drive you crazy. One reason the cloud is beneficial is because, as I said earlier, most companies providing the cluster computing, which is in terms of processing, they use a lot of computers, which is in a local area network. So, like, it's a network of computers, and then they all come together to do one thing. So, if you want them to process something for you, when your task is sent to them, the task is distributed evenly across all the all the nodes on the network, which is in this case is the computers, and they process it for you and then send it to you. So it happens very fast. It's fast, and then you don't have to think about is it correct, because in this case a lot of computers are doing it. So it is accurate. Let me use that word. It's accurate. And another reason is on these smart devices we have, if you damage a smart device, you lose your information or your data if you haven't saved it to the cloud. You see, but if you save it to the cloud and then the device get damaged, all you have to do is just get a new device, log into your uh, cloud, where whoever is providing with the cloud services, log in over there, then just retrieve your information or data back to your new device, and then you are good to go. You see, this is way better. But if there was no cloud and then you have just your smartphone, you have, let's assume you have all the storage you need. When your phone gets stolen or something, you lose everything. Every single thing, you lose it. There's no going back. You get it. But when you are using the cloud, you can, go for it and save it. And then some people like myself who don't have enough money to, get good devices with big storage capacities. When our storage gets full, what do? We cannot do anything. It means you have to delete things which are less important, even though they're important. You have to draw a scale of preference, and the one at the bottom you delete it so that you make space for the important ones. You see, you are still deleting things. You don't want to delete anything. So people like us who don't have money to purchase devices with big storage capacities, we will turn to the cloud and then we save our information or data on the cloud. So in other words, we wouldn't have to delete anything on our device. We just use the cloud to, store excess information or data. Okay, so that brings us to the end of this lesson. If you have any suggestion about this video, or you think there's a better way for me to do this, you can comment down in the section, and I will take a look at it and work towards this, making a better video in the near future. So have a nice day and see you in the next videos.